Hello and welcome to this edition of Tips and Tricks. Now today I'm going to be talking about when to really focus on the fact the bass are on a crawdad bite. I just did that biology bites and told you about how to know when they're on a crawdad bite. Now I'm going to be focusing on when it's really important to know they're on a crawdad bite. And that is in the fall and, well, at the time of this airing, right now, late winter, early spring. In the fall, as the water starts to cool, you have a lot of bait fish heading into the creeks and heading shallow. And that's going to be the bass's focus. I mean, they want the easiest meal. There's going to be tons of fish heading up there as the water starts to cool. So they're not really going to be on a crawdad bite. But as fall transitions and once the water starts cooling and cooling, there's going to be a point where all those fish leave and go out. And that's when these fish are going to transition and start hitting crawdads. And that's when you really want to focus on, are their mouths really red or just a little bit red or just partly red. And well, the other side of it is, like I said, right now, late winter, early spring, because it's sort of the opposite. As that water starts to warm, suddenly you start getting bait fish moving out from the middle and suspending back into the reeds and along shore. And that's when to really focus again on if they're on a crawdad bite or if they're not on a crawdad bite. Because you might be going all winter and working a jig on a ledge or flipping it and catching tons of bass, and every time you look at your mouth it's all red. Suddenly they're not in the jig so much and you're not getting so many hits on it. And then that's when to start looking, and when you catch a few, check their mouth. If their mouth suddenly isn't that red, well, they're starting to transition. I mean, they're going to eat crawdad, but suddenly they got a lot of bait fish and other things to focus on. It's probably an easier meal, so they're going to switch. And if you can be the first one to focus on this and realize it's happening, you're probably the first one to start getting them on a swim bait or start flipping, some crawdad or some other color into the reeds or the trees, because you've suddenly noticed that, ooh, they're not on that crawdad bite. They're suddenly getting into a baitfish bite. So there you go. Early fall, late winter, early spring. That's a really important time to focus on it and look in their mouths and see if they're fully on a crawdad bite or if they're starting to get off it or just come on to it. But focus on that. I hope this helps. Until next time. Man. Alright, after tournament again, I'm just wandering around here in the public park. I get another fish. This one's probably about 6 pounds. Can't believe this. I'm going around over here just throwing like 5-10 feet out. And I just got this big boy. Man. I don't know, it's at least 5.5. Wow. Alright, let me take some pictures. I can barely hold him up.